It's been a long time no stream. Kind of trimmed it down to once a week during my COVID experience, during my Omicron experience. And that being said, I'm getting over Omicron. Today's like day 10 of Omicron. Is it day 9 or 10? And feel better, right? Feel a lot better. Now, welcome back to another chart mastery session. In this one, I'm going to cover BTC, I'm going to cover Ether, I'm going to cover the indices, S&P, QQQ. It's been rough, right? All markets have been dumping. Time to figure out why. In terms of a turn, why did we see a turn here? In terms of fibs, because we were looking at like a 29,969. We did get longs in on indices on both the S&P and the QQQ. And so let's dive in. We'll start off with BTC. I'm going to go back to the extensions that gave us this top and some of the other pivots. So I'm going to start swing high, come down to the swing low of that original move, the 2019 high to 2020 COVID low, which gave us the top at like 69, 70K. It gave us support of 40,000. It gave us resistance of 40,000, right? So these fibs are definitely in play. Things we look for to validate our fibs is resistance, support, top, right? Support turns resistance. All right. So hopefully audio is good. Hopefully everybody can hear me. What's up, Cooley? You guys on trading? If you don't be shy, say hi. The only thing that I found during this crash, right, during this whole crash, right, to give us support here, and I posted this in Discord, right, as it was happening, and the only thing I found was, right, if we take the 61.8, right, the previous 61.8, where just kind of show you guys a little bigger picture of 61.8. So this last 61.8 was a 2019 high, right? And then from there, that 13,000 was the top until we broke it. But the following 61.8, right, is where this move started extending, right? Where BTC started, basically it broke up, right, and then retested, and then from here we had this trend acceleration, and that is the only swing low I'm able to get any kind of continuation trade off of for BTC, right, which literally gave 32,711 as a valid swing low, right? And this, that's the only thing I was able to see at 32,700 to give us some kind of like fib to trade off of, right? Even have to like almost go up to the next low to get that. I believe another one was the 1.6, right? Which kind of coincides with the 1.6 of this range break, and still like didn't quite ping it all the way. Anyways, we got a turn. Was it a no man's land? Possibly not, right? Now what's next? Like, what's in store? Are we topping? Are we continuing up? That's going to be tricky, right? I think the next area where shorts are going to want to pile in, right? The next short to be taken is at 39,499, right? That just says what I see happening. Now, if you don't get a continuation above 38,234, right? Like literally these two fib levels are going to be critical. So if we don't get continuation above here, right, I'm going to probably take a short. And if we don't get continuation above here, I'm probably going to take a short here, right? It's going to be the two areas I'm going to try, just in case we're seeing continuation, right? Because this move was also a breakdown from that red line, right? I think we take this high, come down to that low, right? So we don't want to see this happen again, right? We know markets basically do the same thing over and over. We don't want to see this happen again. Rejection at the red line, and that's going to end up being at $39,490. Thanks, Cooley. That's what I'm looking at on BTC at this point. I'm not shorting. Do you have a short on ADA? Just keep on a short ADA. I have a short on ADA and everything else I'm long. So let's look at Ether. Man, I did have a fib here on ETH. I did signal along. It got stopped out. If you were persistent and retried, then good for you, right? Good for you. I do have a long on Ether, and I'm contemplating starting to enter a hedge. And what happened with Ether was, I'd say a little different, right? The long I took was at like 23.83, which was the 7A6 of this move. Right, and at this point, I'm being patient. Right, I'm being patient. I do think we're likely to retest 2909. Right, and if not, there's the next pivot on here. Let's go to the hourly. I'd hate to take this move, this little wick high for this range, but that's what we're gonna have to do. We get our first 61.8, and the charts above it, it's kicking butt, right? That's great. So the next move up is going to be 32.80, right? And we're looking for a retest to 28.50, right? So this is going to be my T1. Now if BTC goes up to our red line from earlier, right? If BTC goes up to that 61.8 and fails and ETH is at the 50, right, we want to pay attention, right? I'm setting alerts because I'm doing this in real time. 50%. This lets me know that we're at 50% retracement, and this will let me know that we're at 61.8, right? That way I know to look. I encourage you guys to do the same thing. Everybody watching the stream. Let's go to BTC and do the same thing. At least get the 61.8. Really easy to set alerts on TradingView. You just click here, that plus sign, wherever you want it. Double click, give yourself a note. You can like notify the app. You have the app on your phone. It'll literally say BTC crossing at 61.8, right? Like it'll just show you this on your phone. Fantastic. You can be doing whatever and you'll get the notification and check your chart. All right. That covers BTC and that covers Ether. I still think there's a little bit more upside unless we neck over here. Let's look at indices. We do have some UPRO calls, right? We kind of nailed the bottom on this one twice. And now we're patiently waiting with the rest of the market. There is a Fed meeting today, and it's above the 61.8, which is really healthy, right, of this last move. What happened on the S&P, or ES, right, which is S&P futures, it was real tricky to get as like a real bottom type thing, and I went with this last wick because we did see, I'm just going to draw a rectangle over a range. Right, so it basically made this my range, right, and this was the range breakout low, and we saw the 7A6 hold, right, and on the QQQ something similar. It was actually more of an extension too. And another thing that gave me a bottom where I ended up picking up those calls was this range extension. And we rarely see a range break down like 1.618, right? That's where 423 is. This is a big extension, right? So basically took up the long here on the second test. Yeah, so what I'm seeing on the ES, I've been saying this for months, is we want to look out for some kind of repeat of 2018. And the reason I'm saying that is because 2018 was a year of repricing. By repricing, I mean the market and assets were trying to reprice themselves. The market was trying to basically figure out where assets need to be priced at that moment in time after a major run-up, right? And I'm thinking we should see something very similar here. We're kind of, I don't know if we're seeing the inverse of it, right? But I was talking to Gats, I posted this in Discord today, is, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some kind of rally in a squeeze, right? Like if we, I don't know how many of you guys traded traditional markets in 2018. I know I was trading this move and it taught me a lot, right? So seeing a move to like 45.80, 458 on the SPY. Let's go to the SPY chart since we're not really looking at pre-market and after hours and stuff. We're basically looking at fibs. So looking at the SPY, right? Seeing that kind of move here, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not targeting 458 right away, right? I think my next target on here is going to be the continuation swing, right? So after that breakdown, so T1 is 452, 453. That's our T1 on the S&P, the profit taker U Pro, right? Intraday, you can go back to ES. Is there like a minor swing? There's going to be a few of these like minor swing highs to look at. But I think the market needs a break from all the selling, right? Especially if like cryptos keep going up, if BTC and Ether keep going up, I foresee a squeeze in traditional assets too, right? One thing I've said is like when it's risk on in both markets. When it's risk off in both markets, and we just saw that, right? Like BTC had been selling off for months before giving us before the ES started selling, right? So when one's corrective, they're both corrective. I do think there's room for a little bit upwards continuation here. Looking at the NQ. Thank you, Boss Hog. Man, I'm feeling a lot better. Like, feeling a lot better. So I have a little nasal congestion, but everything else feels really good. QQQ did something a little different, right? We did see a 1.272. We did trade. I did signal some TQQQ calls twice, right? So we have 60s that expire in like a few weeks. We're $3 away. You got 3 weeks on both positions, these and the U Pro. So we should be good. We should run up in the money, right? I'm thinking like 67 would be a great sell for the 60s. All right. That covers what I want to cover. Tell me what would y'all like me to cover? You guys and gals, any charts, stocks, crypto? Look at ADA. It's my only short. Yep, buddy. Still short on ADA. So I'm short here because it is at a 61.8, and I feel like this chart needs to like break down some more, right? If we see a sell-off continuation, if you see more of a sell-off, like it's below like previous support, right? We had support several areas on this chart. Give me, right? So this was support. This was support. I want to see this turn into resistance, right? I want to see this turn into resistance. I've been wrong on ADA before. Hopefully these shorts work out. I'm drawing. One can only try, right? That's why I like Fips, because they'll tell me at least where to try. And if I try and it works out, it works out. But if I don't try, right, then I can only blame myself for like seeing a 61.8 and then not interacting with it. Here we saw a 786 almost, and then the second time I rejected, third time, fourth time, right? So maybe you get a breakdown. Sukus, as I don't even know what that is. Jeez. Man. Should have been. Tell me you didn't buy this pump. Just tell me you didn't buy this pump. Please. What's up with this chart? $0.40. That's That's the top until it's not. Right? You see that, right? The like 53 cents was resistance, and we broke down to 40. If 40 cents is not reclaimed, then you're looking at 27. Ooh, I'm looking. I think overstock is time, right? I have some friends here on the island that are like really excited about overstock. It broke down to that 1.618. We should have got in at 38. I wasn't paying attention. This was like 2 days ago. So I'm going to try to get in some overstock today. I think we're on the KuCoin chart. Yeah, man. Mid 30s is decent. So you got it on like this pump, right? I would look out for 40 cents being your top. If anything, like, this is a time for stop losses. This is absolutely a time to have stop losses, right? Like 35 is your stop. Like that would be my stop at least. So USD, Solana, man, I remember when it was up here, and I'm like, guys, don't buy. Like, just sell. Wait for a market crash. That's when you buy, right? And hopefully, some of you guys paid attention to this. I mean, I pretty much nailed it, especially the top at like 245, right? I mean, it's found support at 94. It's looking like the rest of the market, right? Everything is down. Everything is down. In terms of daily chart, it's absolutely looking like the rest of the market. I don't see anything special on this one right now. And yeah, it was tradable at 88, right? It was tradable. I mean, I don't see anything special other than the fact that it did like 16,000% this year, right? But I mean, is it still a buy after that many percentages, or is it having issues? I feel like Sola's having a lot of issues where Sam had to get on Twitter and write a whole thread about it. I would look out for a floor of 85, right? If 85.07 goes, I'd say it's done, right? I mean, I wouldn't say it's done, but I think we can break down lower. I think we could see some like 56 maybe. All right. LRC. Also, we want to keep an eye on those majors, right? Like if BTC and ETH don't go up, like I don't think, and indices don't go up, I don't think Solana can keep going up. Like, it would take a miracle to do that. LRC is looking decent. I like this better. Because we get those wicks, we get that close. And it's holding the trend line. Would I buy this dip? Probably not. Would you buy this? I mean, not at $1, but at 83 cents, it was good, right? So, what about? Oh, this is looking really good, right? Like the last 61.8 that I would look for to get crushed at, it absolutely hammered it, right? Like it went straight through. I think the next move is $1.28. All right, what else? Give me something. You haven't seen me in like a week. Show some tickers, guys. And yeah, I feel better. I feel like I look better too. I had like bags under my eyes for the last week and a half. Last stream, my throat was heavy. Dash or LTC? I mean, I can cover both of them. In terms of like Omicron, you know, I don't think it is that bad. Like, I don't foresee Omicron crashing the market, right? Like, a lot of people can get sick, but like 10 days and you're good. Man, the problem with Dash is that like Is it still on Binance? It's on Kraken? Alright. Geez, it went to in 2021. It went to 500 almost. I've been living under a dash rock, man. I did not keep up with this big move. I guess there's a lot of other more fun assets to trade in 2021 too. Thanks, Boss Hog. Geez, that's 350 coins, man. That's a lot. Thank you. Dash is tough. I'd say like 89 should be a floor. I think if it retests 89, it would be worth a buy, right? I mean, if we're buying dips, I wouldn't short it. I'd look for a buy just because like this thing's melted down more than it's melted up recently. Long. LTC USD. Look at the Coinbase chart. Look at that. Right, wick off 99. A lot of these assets, right? Like, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with the big ones. Is LTC tradable? Maybe. Like, I did get in on Link. The thing it did nothing in 2021. You know, for what it could do. I like this set of fibs better. I feel like if we melt down to like 107 and it holds, maybe I'd look for a long. Alright, if we get this, like another micro fake out meltdown, I'd want to pick that up. Luna! It's staging. I picked up a long at like 60 2 days ago. Yesterday it came down to revisit and I was just like getting ready for bed. Didn't even want to touch it. I thought I was going to get stopped out because like my stop's right here at 59, right under this wick low because I took this red line and I'm just like, I'm not going to mess with it right now. We need to see a test to 69, right? If we get a pump, I think like 69 is T1, 73 is T2. If we get a pump. If we don't get a pump, then it's going to get real problematic, right? Luna's another one of those like thousands of thousands X coins, right? 33,000%. It's kicked Solana's ass, but they're not having problems right now. Luna's great for inflation. It's like an inflation hedge play. That's all it is, right? So we tried out 54 at this point. I'm curious to see the move to 73. I do think 61 has to hold. 69 has to be retested. If 79 gets or 73 gets taken up by bulls, here, let me go ahead and do this. So this is our support. This is your resistance 1, right? If we get a break above and get above 74, I would say it's off to the races. But if this thing gets taken out, forget about it. All right. You guys keeping me busy. I'm gonna start getting anxiety. All right, Matic. Let's look for Matic with more data. There we go. I don't know, man. I don't know. This should hold as support if 169, 167 doesn't get taken out by bulls. I would say GTFO, right? If 1.679 doesn't become support, I'd say like watch out. I mean, there's also, we still got to keep an eye on the majors too. Theta USD. I really wanted a theta long, but we can't. I don't think we can do it on 100x, which really like is upsetting. Jeez, theta got crushed. Holy crap! This thing went from $15 to $3. That's ambitious. Looking at this chart right now, with like to target 3.74, that's gonna take some ambition. What if we do this? I'd buy dips, right? I'd probably pick up if we get like a sell-off down to 2.838 or maybe back to 2.6. I'd totally try along in 2.6 just because like you guys showed me this chart. I would try along here. I would not try to chase these candles up here, right? I wouldn't. I would like wait for 2.838 or 2.6 and then from there keep going. Adam hit that 61.8 and now it's below the 50. This thing's been on a rager. No comment. This can go either way, right? Because we're seeing that wedge, and currently it's in bearish continuation until it breaks above 36, right? So I would assume that it's bearish continuation until it's not. Like I always say, we're seeing a bit of a wedge. We've seen these break up. We've seen these break down. We've seen these do all sorts of things. The scary part is being under 36.3, right? 36.38. That's what's scary, right? To me, that's what I would look for. Even if you go like here, yeah, no, I'm gonna stick to this low because this is like basically this swing high is the retest of, I wouldn't call it a retest, but like we had a breakdown, right, and a pullback, and then that's where that move started, and now we're pulling back 61.8 towards it. So if this doesn't get taken out by the bulls, I would say we're going back down like 26. AAA, you're the only one that doesn't have sound, man. I did a mic check right in the beginning, and yeah, so it's not me. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. This is 28 minutes of awesome charting. I'm going to be back on Friday, same time, same place. I'm over COVID, definitely over COVID. And yeah, you guys want to join the chat, follow the links, hop in Discord, and catch me there. I'll be there rest of the trading day, every day. And if not, I'll catch you guys next time.